Alright, so I've been thinking about this one a fair bit, and I thought I'd give it a go. This is my concept that I've come up with so far, I guess. Now, this is people and energy slash kind of music or tune. Anyway, we'll define that later. um, People feel and connect to different songs in their own way, in their way. So let's agree and call this NLP, which is the proper term for a neurological connection to something. So we sympathize, I guess, towards certain things. Like I know my affiliation towards dogs is much friendlier than cats because I've always had dogs in my family. I mean, I got one that's annoying me right now on my lap. Anyway, NLP kind of stands for that kind of stuff. So let's say people attach themselves to certain songs and certain types of flow of song, but they all got to lead from somewhere. So there's got to be something that's. You done? Good. Um, no idea where I was. Alright, so basically what I'm saying is that you get down to the base of it, every song has a kind of core energy, kind of core tune or flow. Like, you can make a song sound aggressive or um, just you can make just pure sound aggressive or loving or fulfilling or hollowing. One of my favorite songs, what is it called? I can't think of what it's called. It's a very well known classical song, and it's got this huge sense of like void of hope, I guess. Jack, seriously? On the computer? Alright, she just wants to be in the spotlight. You good? Okay, so one of my favorite songs is. Come on, Jack. Just sit down and behave. Not helping at the moment. Alright, so my favorite song, yeah. It's got a very hollow tune to it. If you listen to it, you can feel like the loneliness in it, I guess. It's nowhere else to explain it. Like, I've also NLP'd this song to something that I know I'm aware of, which was a movie scene basically, where a entire planet of life was being wiped out, and you were bearing witness of it. And this song was playing during this part of the scene, and I think I NLP'd it to that, but also the song had the sound within it. So that's my point. All right. So let's agree that types of songs have a type of personality or energy towards them. Alright, each song has a type of energy, and each person has a mood slash energy that harmonizes with said song. Like, for instance, I said that my favorite song being very lonely, and I can harmonize with that quite a bit. Um, Resonate. I don't know what the word was involved with, I guess, when you get immersed in a song. Yeah. Anyway, so said song, blah blah blah. It's safe to assume that every person has a complex yet type of energy that they project for a sense of self, habits, their thoughts, and their personas they create in themselves. So each part of that person would have complex different tunes that would create that personality, if you understand what I'm getting at. And so it stands to reason that they will connect and flow, as in I talk, as in the same way towards said energies from other people. Hence why most people tend to click with others that are interested in the same music as the other person is. Yeah. So basically, I'm saying that because people have those said energies, that type of persona, that attracts them to certain musics. That's why people who have passion in the same types of music tend to click very well. Alright. Some types of energies clash where others mesh really well, depending on if they complement or put down slash destroy the other energies. So obviously within a song you got several different types of beats and things working together all at the same time. And what I'm saying is that in a song sometimes they can complement a sound, like a guitar complements a bass. Yeah. Now if you put a drum in there, the drum holds it. It's like the backbone for it, I guess. It's usually the core beat. If you know much about the bands and drums and stuff, basically the drum's meant to be the metronome for the band in nearly every song. That's my understanding. And what it does is it creates the backbone for the song to flow off of. So set energies on top of set energies, complexities. Anyway, so my point being in the situation is that um, some things clash and completely ruin it. Like try mixing classical music with death metal. Now I know Metallica has done this in some ways, but it makes it I find it makes it very. It usually is a clashing type of sound, unless you adjust it to the right key. But you can't just grab one song and then grab another song and mesh them together. Not they don't always work. This is also comes to another point, like if you guys have ever heard of Girl Talk, he's a fabulous DJ that does mixing of well, he's a producer that mixes old songs together, and he makes these brilliant soundtracks with it. A lot of like different type of stuff, like Michael Jackson to the Jackson 5 to Slim Shady and Eminem, and then Puff Daddy, Snoop Dogg. He mixes all those types of different musics together, and he makes quite interesting stuff that you wouldn't think would work together, but they do. Anyway, so my point in the situation is because the music can be this kind of complex, why can't the energy of a person's be like that as well? So some people complement others because they're opposites, but still there's some that actually cause the other tune to pushed out of the way. Hence, kind of similarities and patterns and clashes with people and their personalities. I've met quite a few girls that clash very easily because they both want the attention of the group, and well, they're both stealing it from each other. Anyway, so I hope that kind of explains my point a bit. Alright, okay. Now, some or most people are attracted to the latter because of the dysfunctional energy. Yeah, so some people are attracted to like dysfunctional tunes in people as well, um, because their familiarity with it and what they've learned when they're young. Like I know that there's a lot of women have a complex where they get attracted to a man because a man ignores them. Unfortunately, this is because of something most of them are usually taught when they're younger that their fathers just don't have the time for them. Not just that, too. Some of them are very distant men and keep to themselves. And so I've met many a girl that are attracted to those men that ignore them and constantly get hurt by it, but they keep going back because instinctively that feels familiar to them, something they know and understand and comprehend. But the truth is, they're not actually comprehending it. It's just an instinctive state that drives you to chase it. I know because I'm attracted to dysfunctional people who don't explain themselves. I know, ironic, isn't it? But I've since gotten my ass together with that, and I've realized that energy is bad. So I actually realized it in a person quite early, and tend to actually pull myself out of situations that put me near that person. Like I've met a few people recently that I was like, if I ever actually got with that person, I'd become attached and then brokenhearted because the situation was gonna be exactly the same I've been through when I was younger. Well, yeah, a few years younger than this. I still got a long way to go. Alright, we don't need an example, eh? Alright. So those two examples show that the complexity of a human's energy is apparent and that hugely influential. So my point is, what should we do with this understanding? Me personally, I have set upon a path that is changing my energies and removing cycles like vicious cycles and dysfunctional cycles that are considered functional in me, and replacing with personality energy types that I admire and adhere to. Uh, Remember, all energy like habits are never replaced, only changed. So you have to change the habit instead of trying and replace it. Change it, replace it, but you can't remove it. So you'll notice that anything you've picked up, like smoking, if you started using chewing gum, you would just become addicted to chewing gum, and then you'd develop the habit of not having either, so on and so forth. Uh, this is how. This, however, is the path I have taken, and it's maybe right for me, but not for you. So the reason I'm telling you about this is by my understanding, most people wish to improve. I believe so. Alright, and that brings me back to my third page, which is also a second segment to what I'm talking about. Enhancing your tune. I love my little titles. As I've discussed in several talks, sense of self is my answer to self-development, and so far works so well for me that I'm yet to see a limit of its power, and I'm not kidding. Like I've not seen any faults with my sense of self direction because it's trying to become something I adhere to and I admire. Anyway, I get to that. When viewing sense of self in the light of personality energies, which is your tune, or as I like to label it, your tune. I forgot to write that in. Sense of self is more than likely a collection of admired traits from people and things that you have experienced within life, and maybe a little from your genetics as well. I am kind of glad that my dad isn't bald and I'm not going to get bald when I get older. Alright. Example B, example B for the situation. A person is uh, a person in a rough neighborhood will be more likely to admire someone rough and brutish because gets results in that area, and so develops those set energies tuned. So I'm just saying that environment has so much influence on our personality and tune that we don't actually notice that we're constantly evolving by everything around us. So I guess it comes down to the point where you shouldn't be too worried if you're not the person you want to be, because, well, frankly, that's being human. Being affected by every influence around you is a fact of nature. You can't change it. So don't try to change that. Just go with what you've got and be that person, and keep moving towards the place you admire. All right, guys. I hope uh, I hope that's kind of filled you up, guys, for a bit, because that was a really good one that I've really been working on. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it helps too. I'm hoping to define this one a bit more further on. Alright, bye.